For this lesson, we're going to be working on adding decimals. Before we get into that, we are going to talk about some necessary vocabulary. First, we have sum, which is the answer to an addition problem. Anytime you see the word sum, you want to equate that with addition. And we're going to be spending some time today on estimating. Estimate is to calculate a decimal based off the rounded whole numbers, which would be anything that's to the left of your decimal point. Some quick examples of that. We have 26.53, and you can already see that we've got the number 5 bolded out in a different color there for you. It's rounded to 27 because when you round to the nearest whole number, you want to look at the tenths place. That is the place directly to the right of the decimal point. If it's a 5 or bigger, it rounds up to the next number. 26 becomes 27. Or in our next case here, where it is 45.32, we look at the number 3. Since that is less than 5, this 5 here is going to stay the same, or sometimes you might refer to that as rounding down, since it is a smaller number on the right. That's just a quick review of the rounding skills that you've already acquired over the years. But here, the place that you really want to look at is the location of the decimal. In fact, that's going to be a major theme in all of this lesson, is where is that decimal point? So let's start with a few quick estimation problems. We have 28.98 plus 323.56. First thing we'll do is take a look at our first number. If you look directly to the right of the decimal point, we see the number 9. The number 9 is larger than 5, so this 28 that's to the left is going to be rounded up to 29. Plus, and we're going to round this next number. We have the number 5 in the tenths place. Well, 5 or greater, we're going to round up. So 323 becomes 324. And now that we have this all ready to go, we can add them. Now I know I've already written it horizontally or sideways, but because this translates so well into what we're going to be doing a few slides from now when we stop estimating and start getting the actual answers, let's do this vertically. And we're going to do 29. 9 is in the ones place. We're going to line that up vertically with the 4, which is in the ones place, the 2 in the tens place, and the 3 in the hundreds place. I know this is how you were doing addition years and years ago, but 9 plus 4 is 13. We'll carry that 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus that other one is 5, and bring down that 3. There's nothing to add it to, and we get the number 353, which is a reasonable estimation of the sum of those two decimal numbers. It's not exact, but it's a good estimate of the answer. We'll do one more. This time we're going to look at 205.34 plus 32.67. This time when we look at the tenths place, we have a number 3. 3 is smaller than 5, so we're just going to drop everything to the right of the decimal and leave that as 205. And then to the right of this decimal, it's a 6. 6 is larger than 5, so we're going to go ahead and round up, which will give us 33. We're adding these two numbers together, and I know you can probably do this horizontally just fine, but we're going to go ahead and do it vertically again. We'll put the 205 down first, line the 3 up in the ones place, the 3 up in the tens place, There's nothing to match with it in the hundreds place. 5 plus 3 is 8. 0 plus 3 is 3. And 2, well, plus another 0 or nothing is 2. That's 238. Again, a reasonable estimation of the sum of these two decimals. On this slide, we are going to be adding decimals together to get the exact answer. I need to call your attention to the words at the bottom of the slide. The key here is to line up the decimals. On the past two problems, we did go ahead and line up the place values already, so we're pretty comfortable with that concept. This time what we're going to be doing is making sure that the decimals line up. I'm going to begin by writing the first number down, negative 32.58. Now in the last two problems, we knew that the farthest right we were going to go was the ones place, so we were able to work from there. This time it's going to be a little bit different. You can see that this decimal, we went 2 places, and here we only went 1 place. So just lining up the last number is not going to work the same way as it did last time. So this time what we're going to do is line up the decimal point itself vertically. So for our second number, to the right of the decimal, we have the number 6. And to the left of the decimal is the number 21. And with the number positive 21.6 and negative 32.58, since we're adding these two numbers together, it should be fairly simple. Except take a look, the top one is a negative number. So this really is a subtraction problem. The first rule, if you remember, for adding two numbers together where one is positive, one is negative, the one with the larger magnitude, or the farthest distance from 0 on the number line, is going to have the sign for the final answer. Here we have a negative 32 point something and a positive 21 point something. 32 is normally bigger than 21, so we can already comfortably say that the final answer is going to be negative. Now that we got that part out of the way, this is really a subtraction problem. So let's begin. We have 8 minus nothing beneath it, so it's just going to be an 8. We have 5 minus 6. And if you remember borrowing when we're doing simple subtraction, we're going to take 1 away from that 2 to make this a 15. 15 minus 6 is 9. Bring that decimal down. At this point, we now have a 1 minus 1, which is 0, and 3 minus 2, which is 1. Final answer is negative 10.98. Let's do another one. Once again, we need to make sure that we line the decimal points up vertically. We have negative 208.6. And for our second number, we're going to start from the decimal point. To the left of the decimal is a 0, and to the right of the decimal is 2, 3, 4. And this number is also negative. Let's take a look at the signs first. Since we're adding our two numbers together and they're both the same sign, they're both negative, that means the answer is going to be negative. And now we just work vertically. There's nothing here above the 4, so we'll just bring down that 4. Nothing got added to it. Same thing for the 3. Nothing got added to it. 6 plus 2 is 8. Bring down the decimal. 8 plus 0 is 8. And these other numbers don't have anything to group with them either. And there's our final answer, negative 208.834. So let's put these type of skills into context. Coach Pryor donated $150.87 to the high school football team and $185.32 to the high school soccer team. How much did he donate in all? So like our prior problems, we're going to be adding these two decimals, in this case money, together. We'll start with 150.87. I'm going to write the decimal first for this second one. To the right of the decimal is 32, and to the left of the decimal is 185. Add them together. 7 plus 2 is 9. 8 plus 3 is 11. There's our 1 there. The decimal point stays where it is, and we carry over that 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry that 1 over. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. 336.19. 336.19 what? It's money. $336.19. Remember, for every word problem, be sure to put those units back in so that your answer makes some sense, because these are real-world type scenarios. Last problem we're going to look at here shows John, who jogged 3.5 miles on Monday, 2.65 miles on Wednesday, and 5 miles on Friday. How many miles did he run in all, or all together? This one's a little different because we have 3 numbers, but the same procedure is going to work just fine for us. I'll start by writing the first number, 3.5. The second number has a decimal. To the left of that decimal is a 2. To the right of that decimal is a 6.5. Where is the decimal on this number 5, though? Well, number 5 is a whole number, so you can remember that a 5 by itself is the same thing as a 5.0, or that number 5 is directly to the left of the decimal point. Now that we have the decimal points lined up, we can just add them together. This 5 to the far right is all by itself, nothing to do with him, so we'll just bring it down. 6 and 5 is 11. Bring the other 1 over. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus another 5 is 10, plus that 1 is 11. And we have a decimal point here, a decimal point here, a decimal point here. Bring it down vertically. 11.15. 11.15 what? Miles. And that's our lesson on adding decimals.